ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 प्रज्ञानां शुप्रतानैस्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् सविष्ठान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुं मायया भोजयन्नः मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विधिजविषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमतिविभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मने स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः।
Mandukya Karika, 4th chapter, Alatha Shanti Prakarana. Read Karika 67.
उभे ह्यन्योन्यदृश्येते किं तदस्तीति नोच्यते लक्षणाशून्यमुभयं तन्मतेनैव गृह्यते।
This phenomenon of Vishayi, the one who perceives, the perceiver, perceiving the perceived entity, Vishaya, perceiver, perceiving the Drishya, perceived entity, says this phenomena cannot be explained. We may do Vyavahara. In the practical world, we may conduct ourselves with the help of all these. But from the standpoint of ultimate truth, absolute reality, Paramarthika Satyam, from that standpoint, this cannot be explained at all. Because such a phenomenon is just next to impossible as far as the all-pervasive Chaitanya, pure awareness principle, pure consciousness principle is that it has no locus standi for such phenomena. Because the truth is Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone is. To drive home this point, Gaudapadacharya took the illustration of the dream. in the dream, the dreamer's mind interacts with all the dream world, goes here and there, and for that, the embodiments of the jivas, pranis, living beings, or other things are drishya. Here, Andajan, etc., jivas means jivas, embodiments only are taken into account. For whom swapna chitta, whereas that means for swapna chitta, the embodiments of these jivas are the drishya. But this swapna chit, the mind of the dreamer itself is drishya, an entity known by swapna karta, swapna drashta, in the sense swapna drashta also is an entity who is product of the mind. This we find in the dream world or in the dream. Similarly, in the waking, jivas means the bodies or embodiment of jivas are drishya, entities perceived, entities known by Jagrat Chitta, the waking mind. But that waking mind itself is drishya, object of that is one who is Jagrat Drashta, the waker seer or the waker. Because the waker, just as the dreamt entities, the dream mind and the dreamer are product of one and the same entity called Antakarana, the mind of the waker. They are interdependent. So also, in the waking, the perceived entities of the embodiments of the jivas, Andaja, etc. was the waker's mind, which is called drishya. So this waker's mind is drishya, a known entity of the waker itself. Because waker's mind and drishya entity are made up of one and the same stuff. What stuff it is? The waker's antakarana. Here a doubt may come. Sir, Vedanta uses the method of drishya viveka to ascertain the Atma Swarupa. And it is an established fact that drik, the seer principle at any level, is distinct from drishya, the seen entity. Here, you are going against this principle. You're telling you can't explain at all. There's no distinction. They're made up of one and the same stuff. How is it possible? We miss here one point. Drikdrishaveka, the final Drik principle, Drugeva natu drishyate, Rupam drishyam, Lochanam drik, Tad drishyam, Driktu manasam, Drishyadi vrittaya sakshi, Drugeva natu drishyate. Rupam drishyam, the forms are seen. Lochanam drik, eyes are the seer. Tadrik, tadrishyam, eyes are seen, known. By who? Manasam. By who? Manasam. It is seen by mind. Drishyaha divrittaya. All antakarvrittis are what? Known, perceived, experienced. By who? Sakshi, Chaitanya. And that Sakshi is what? Drugeva natu drishyati. It is always the seer principle, never gets subjected to become seen entity. Whereas in the dream, dreamer also is the drishya entity. It is not non-changing drik entity because of being the product of waker's mind. In the waking, waker also is the product of antakar. That thought, I am aware of all these, illumined by Chidavasa, is posing as the seer principle. It is not Sakshi Drugeva. So therefore, that is out. Even there also. The method adopted is a means to arrive at our Swarupa. But the means need not be foolproof. This context, many times I have seen the dictum of Vardikakara Sureshwaracharya. Yaya yaya bhavet pumsam vyutpatti pratyagatmani sa saiva sadvi syatna satu anavasta sat eva sadvi syat satu anavasya yaya yaya bhavet prajnam pumsam vyutpatti pratyagatmani. By any method, prakriya, mode of teaching, the person gains atmajnana, sa prakriya, sadvi. It is a good mode of teaching, it is a good methodology. But if you probe into that methodology, anavastita, it can't stand the scrutiny of test. It has got inherent defects, but it does the job. So therefore, even Drikdasha Viveka, you can point out some defects, but it works. Here we are concerned with the Viveka who assumes he is real permanent. Not so. So from that standpoint, it says, if inquired into this process of one being the drishya of other, we can't find out any sensible answer as to what these really are. Is they. They means Vishaya Vishayi at the Darshana level. In any perception, Darshana. The Vishayi, the perceiver. Vishaya, the perceiver. Vishayi, the seer. Vishaya, the seen. Say, Ube, both. He Anyonya Drishya. They are Drishya of each other in the sense both are made up of one and the same stuff, that is Antakarana Vritti, mutually dependent. If Vishaya, sense object, in the form of Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti, as thought corresponding to the object, is not there, Vishayi, its knower is not possible. If Vishayi, the knower principle thought, is not there, Vishaya, the object, is not possible. Mutually dependent. One becomes the Drishya as it were, the other. There is no hard and fast rule. Why you call this Vishaya? Why you call this Vishayi? But Vyavahara takes place. We do practice what? In the practical world it works. It does the job. Kim Sadasiti. What exactly is the Vishaya? Object. What exactly is the Vishayi? The perceiver. Iti. Kim Tadasthiti. What exactly they are? Iti. Vivekina. A person who knows how to handle pramana, who investigates the true nature of everything. Na uchyate, cannot be said. They can't say anything about Viveki people, about why this is Vishaya, why this is Vishayi. They can't say, because both are the one and the same stuff, Antakarana Vritti. Then you may say, but the seer see, perceiver perceived. Distinction is experience, and Vyavahara, all practical aspects of the world take place. Yes, they take place by this notion which is wrong in reality. Lakshana Shunyam Ubhayam Tadmate Neva Griyate. Ubhayam, both. What are those? You can say Vishaya Vishayi, or Karika is with the word Chitta Chaitya. Chitta, Antakarana, in the sense Vishayi. perceiver, Vishaya, Chaitya, object of Chitta, the actually Drishya object. Ubhayam, Tanmatha, both are what? Lakshana Shunyam. Lakshana Shunyam, Pramana Shunyam. There is no pramana to establish this is exactly like this, it can't be other way. But the entire Jagat, Vyavahara depends on that, yes. Having taken the recourse to this notion of pramana shunyata, it is operated and it works. Kaam chalao, stopgap arrangement, Vyavahara takes this. Only because Vyavahara takes this, it is not reality. Otherwise, anything that you perceive will become real. Nowadays, the dress of boys and girls have become so strange that many times at first sight, simply by dress, you can't make out is a boy or a girl. Suppose someone saw a girl, but he got the impression that he is a boy. Will that girl become boy? Perception is there. There is one entity distinct, different from you, whether known to you or unknown to you. How to deal, you know. Vyavahara may take place, but reality is not there. So therefore, Lakshana Shunyam Ubhayam. Ubhayam, both Vishaya, Vishayi, Chaitya, Chitta, Chaitya, are Pramana Shunya. Not proved based on valid Pramana. You can't explain exactly why this is called Vishaya, this is called Vishayi. Both are Antakana Vrittis, interdependent. One without the other is not possible. And if you ask how Vyavahara takes place, that is Drisha. Tanmatena eva, by that Pramana Shunya notion, that concept, this is different from this, which is not based on the Pramana, but by that very concept, eva griyate, griyate is what perceived in the sense, see, ghatamati, the knowledge, the notion that this is the pot. See, and the ghata, actually the pot. One without the other cannot take place at all. So therefore, by taking recourse to this Vishayi concept, which is not established by any Pramana, Vyavahara, the dealing in the world takes place. Let us see the Bhasya. Read Jiva Chitte Ubhe.
जीव चित्ते उभे चित्त चैत्ये ते अन्योन्य दृश्ये इतरेतर गम्ये.
Jiva Chitte Ubhe. Both Jiva and Chitta. Now here, Jiva, as we have seen earlier, Jiva stands for Jivat Sharirani, the embodiments of the Jiva. And Chittam has to be seen. These words are very special in the sense Gaudapadacharya uses them in a special connotation with a special meaning. Unless every time, unless you are aware of it, confusion is bound to be there. So therefore here we should be aware of what is meant by Jiva Chitta. Ide Ubhe. Chitta stands for Darshana, sight, knowledge, perception of this Chaitya or Jiva. For example, Aham Ghatam Pashyami. I see the pot. That Vishayi, seer, connected to Vishaya, the object pot, is called as what? Chittam. The known, perceived entity, the embodiment of the Jiva, and one who perceives them, called Chitta, Ubhe. For them, the name is given Chitta Chaite. Chitta Chaite means Vishaya Vishayi. Chitta for Vishayi, Chaitya for Vishaya. Te Anyonya Drishya. Anyonya Drishya are Drishya of each other. Jiva or Vishaya is the object of Chitta or Vishayi. Vishayi is the object of Vishaya. That is Itaretara Gamme. Mutually know. Same thing is explained. Continue. Jivadi Vishayapeksham.
जीवादि विषयापेक्षम हि चित्तम नाम भवति.
What is the Chittam, as I have seen now, but is explained by Bhashyakara. Jivadi Vishayapeksham hi Chittam nama bhavati. What is meant by Chittam? That darshanam, sight, seeing, knowing. With respect to what? Jivadi Vishaya. Jivadi Vishaya means with respect to the bodies, etc. of the Jiva. Chittam nama bhavati. It is called the Chittam darshanam. Continue.
चित्तापेक्षम हि जीवादि दृश्यम.
So, Jivadi Drishyam. The embodiments of Jivas, etc., are Chittapeksham. Apeksham dependent on Chitta, that is the Vishayi, the experiencer, the perceiver. And therefore, he concludes, continue.
अतः ते अन्योन्य दृश्ये.
Therefore, he says, they are anyonya drishye. They are mutually what? Drishya of one other. Vishaya, the chitta, the chaitya depends on Vishayi, the chit or darshana. Vishayi, chit darshana depends on the Vishaya chaitya. So what is it? Therefore, continue.
तस्मात् न किंचित अस्ति इति च
Continue.
उच्यते तस्मात् न किंचित अस्ति इति च उच्यते चित्तं वा चित्ते क्षणीयं वा किं तदस्ति इति विवेकिना उच्यते
Vivekina na uchyate. Vivekina nochyate. Therefore, so therefore means what? Because they are mutually drishyas. There is paraspara drishyatva. Chitta drishya chaitya. Chaitya drishya chitta. Vishay drishya vishay. Vishay drishya vishaya. Both are antakarana vrittis only. So therefore tasma. Chittam va anvaya. Tasmat chittam va chitte kshaniyam va न किंचित अस्ति इति उच्यते इति च उच्यते. Both being one and the same stuff. Antakarana vrittis. So therefore tasma, because they are mutually drishyas, either chittam darshana, like ghatam pashyami, ghatabati, knowledge of pot, va chitte kshaniyam, the perceived entity, like ghata, the known entity, like ghata, va na kinchit asti iti cha uchyate. There is nothing called like this division at all. Both are one and the same antakarana vrittis. So that means like this triputi is trio coming, seer, seen and sight. Seer, seen and seeing antakarana vritti. All are things antakarana vrittis. On what basis are you making this division? Practically it works. Vyavahara take place. But when you are ascertaining the reality, both these get reduced to one and the same stuff. On what basis you have made this distinction? You can't say. That's why pramana rahita. It is not given to pramana. And yet, that concept which is beyond pramana, without pramana, itself is made use for our practical purpose. Just as in the dream, you have to eat dream food only when you have a dream hunger. Is it not? Do you mean to say dream food really there? You can't say, no. I'm a Vedanti. I know that this dream is false and I will not eat the dream food. Starve in the dream. Pangs of hunger is the same thing. So, practical vyavahara cannot be taken as a criterion of reality. Anubhava, experience by itself is not the criterion of reality. And error also is experience. Dream also is experience. Something what false entity also is experience. Experience you is aware of. Real or unreal, you have to inquire. Same experience to be inquired into. And that entity which never changes, which always is, which is never born, which never ends, that entity is the ultimate reality. See, simple norm to find out what is the ultimate reality, what is the final truth, when entire cosmos gets totally dissolved. What is that entity which ever remains? Bhagavan Shiva in Yoga Vasishta, at one place while teaching Vasishta, has given a beautiful, unambiguous definition of Bhagavad Tattva. Number one, akritrimam. Number two, anadyantam. Number three, devanam. That is Bhagavad Tattva. First criterion, akritrimam. Kritrima literally means artificial in the sense which is made, which is created, which is produced. No kritrimam, not made, not produced, not created. Akritim. Fine? Means what does it mean? Self-existent one, neither born nor subject to destruction, death. Anadyantam, same is further explained, which has no adi, no anta. Adi means born. It is not born from some cause. Which has no cause, no antam. It doesn't get dissolved to something else. Doesn't get destroyed. Devanam. Literally, Devanam means self-shining principle, self-luminous principle, in the sense self-knowing principle, self-experiencing principle. Devanam, Deva Uchyate. It is called a Deva, it's called a Bhagavad Tattva. I'm not going into detail now. If you inquire into that, Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, Chit, not Chittam, Chit and Chit alone, pure awareness principle, pure conscious principle alone can fulfill this definition. That is Bhagavad Tattva. So therefore, all this, which are that, this is Vishaya, this is Vishayi, this is Chittam, this is what? Chaitya, cannot be definitely said at all. So these all, Chitte Kshanimva, Kim Tadastiti. What exactly they are, because they are going changing. They are dependent on each other. Vivekina nauchyate. Nauchyate cannot be described by who? Viveki. How you say so is explained by Bhasya with the help of an illustration. Continue, Nahi.
न हि स्वप्ने हस्तिचित्तं वा विद्यते तथा इहापि विवेकिनाम् इति अभिप्रायः.
Because Swapne, in the dream. Hasti, hasti chittam va. Either actual elephant or hasti chittam means the hasti darshana, the sight of the elephant. There is neither elephant in dream nor the sight of the elephant in dream. Vidate. Tatha, in the same manner. Iha api. Iha means jagarite, in the waking state also. Vivekinam. Vivekinam, in the case of Vasa Viveki, what is chitta and what is chaitya? What is that actual perception? And what is that actually perceived entity? Like hasti, hasti darshana, elephant and sight of elephant. Exactly what it is. Even a Viveki cannot say based on valid pramana. The question comes, how do you say that Chitta Chaitya are not there? First, the question is raised by Bhashyakara and answer is given. Continue, Katham.
कथं लक्षणाशून्यं लक्ष्यते अनया इति लक्षण प्रमाणं प्रमाणशून्यमुभयं चित्तं चैत्यं द्वयं यतः तन्मतेन एव तत् चित्ततया एव तत् गृह्यते.
Katham means it like this. Katham chitta chaityayoho abhava. Sir, you are talking something against the vyavahar, against things we are dealing in the world. How do you say so? Chitta chaityayoho abhava. Adhyara has to be made there. There is absence of chitta, the sight, the perception of the entity, drishya. Chaitya, the vishaya, the object. How do you say they are not there? If you ask so, here is the answer given in the Karika. Lakshana shunyam. They have no lakshana, they have no pramana. It is deduced. What is meant by lakshana? Lakshate anaya iti lakshana. That entity by which something is apprehended or perceived. A concrete entity by which something is apprehended or perceived. Lakshyate anaya iti lakshana means pramanam. A valid means of knowledge by which this is exactly this is perceived. And such pramana here is not there. Pramana shunyam ubhaya. What is both? What are the both? Chittam chaityam. Chitta for drishya, chitta for darshana of the chaitya, chaitya for vishaya, vishaya vishayi. They both are what? Pramana shunyam. Cannot be categorically proved to be the what? Can be known by this. Both are same stuff. Both are interdependent. How are you isolating one from the other? Well, then pramana vyavahar is going on. Without pramana vyavahar is going on. It works. Our empirical problem is solved. By empirical means, that doesn't mean it is real. your dream hunger is appeased by dream food doesn't mean dream food is real. That's what would happen. All the food in the dream should be available to you where in the waking state. Not possible. Even a little one, even a 1 grain of rice you can't bring. Yataha tanmatena eva. By that pramana shunya notion, this is chittam, this is chaityam, and chaitya is the drishya of chitta. Chalta hai. We are using it, and effect also is seen. Kaam chalta hai, but there is no definite pramana to that in that respect. So therefore, tanmatena eva means tatchittataya eva. Tatchittataya means tanmatya. By that notion only. This is chitta, this is chaitya. Eva tadgriyate. Both chitta and chaitya are perceived. Vyavahara level, yes. But at pramana level, you cannot prove it. Same thing is explained further with a concrete example by Bhasya Karika. Read nahi ghatamatim.
न हि घटमतिं प्रत्याख्यायः घटः गृह्यते
Pratyakhyaya.
प्रत्याख्याय घटः गृह्यते नापि घटं प्रत्याख्याय घटमतिः.
This is what it is. Ghatamatim pratyakhyaya. Pratyakhyaya means by rejecting or declining, here in the sense ajñātva. Ghatamatim, rejecting, declining is ajñātva, not without knowing the ghatamati. I know this spot. Without this, ghataha nahi griyate. The pot cannot be perceived. On the contrary, napi ghatam pratyakhyaya. Ajñātva, not knowing, rejecting, declining the pot, the ghatamati hi grihati, grihati to be added there. Without knowing the pot, the darshan of pot is possible. Without ghata, darshana is not possible. So that is ghatamatim pratyakhyaya. Without the knowledge of pot, the pot can be known, seen. Without the pot, the knowledge of pot can take place. Means both are interdependent. One depends on the other. And therefore, what exactly this is, you can't say at all. The gist is being given now. Therefore, nahi. Continue.
न हि तत्र प्रमाण प्रमेय भेदः शक्यते कल्पयितुम् इति अभिप्रायः.
So what is meant by Gaudapadacharya is tatra, in the ghata and ghatamati ghatadhyana, with respect to any entity, known entity and its knowledge. Pramana prameya bheda. Which is pramana and which is prameya? Which is a means of knowledge, which is a known entity by that. So this Veda, with respect to what? Chit, and Chitta and Chaitanya. Chitta for Ghata Jnana and not Chaitanya. Chaitya for Ghata. Vishayi. Without it, Kalpayitum na shakyate, they prepare. Such distinction cannot be taken to, cannot be imagined. So this is what is this. Though Vyavahara takes place, you cannot clear-cut define who is Vishaya, who is Vishayi. What is knowledge of the object and what is the object? You cannot describe it at all. Now the question is, see, he has used the word Jiva. And Jiva stands for the embodiments of the Jiva. And by this, he says what exactly they are cannot be said. Means there are nothing really called the embodiment of Jiva. That's what is meant there. To which the objections really. Sir, what are you talking this all about? We know one thing. Embodiments of the Jivas are born. Embodiment Jivas do die. And you are telling that which is born and that which dies is not there at all. Because it cannot be established as pramana. How is it possible? See, this is the doubt. The drishya, upadhis, embodiments of the jiva, perceived. You can't say like this. They are not there at all because you can't establish a pramana. Because they are born, they continue to be there, and they die, they get destroyed. Such things should really be there. No, sir. What is saying is not criterion of reality. I can point you out. Things which are not there appear to be born. Things which are not there appear to die. Only because something appears to be born, something appears to die, doesn't mean it really is. So from that standpoint also, Vishaya Vishayi. So this knower known, the entire Jagat is there, cannot be established. Read 68.
यथा स्वप्नमयो जीवः जायते म्रियते च तथा जीवा अमी सर्वे भवन्ति न भवन्ति च.
Three examples are given. One from the standpoint of dream, other standpoint of magic, third from the standpoint of some other means, wherein it appears as though the embodiments are born, embodiments die, but truly they are not there. So is the case in the waking. Only because something is born and it gets destroyed doesn't mean that it really is there. First example is with respect to dream. Yatha, just as Swapnamaya Jiva. Swapnamaya Jiva. Jiva is Andajadaya. Remember that word, Andajadaya. Different type of species Swapnamaya, Swapna Vikara. Just as the embodiment born of eggs, etc., seen in the dream, Jayate Mriyate Picha. They are born, they die. They are born, they die. Because of that, are you going to take them as real? There you are a Paramatjnani. Oh, it's false. Why it is dream? Then your frightened, born and die. Is there? In spite of being born in dream, in spite of death in the dream, you don't take them to be real. Katha, the same manner. Ami sarve jiva. All the jivas mean jivas embodiment under jadaya in the waking. Ami, in the waking in this. Bhavanti na bhavanti cha. Bhavanti are born. Na bhavanti die. They are born, they die. That is not a criterion of the reality. They really so. They really there. It cannot be established as in the case of dream. Now, same thing with respect to magic. Read yata.
यथा यथा मायामयो जीवः जायते म्रियतेऽपि च तथा जीवा अमी सर्वे भवन्ति न भवन्ति च.
Just as Maya Maya Jiva. Maya Vikaraha. Maya is magic. Just as the embodiment produced by magic. Jayante Briyante cha. A magician by magic creates something. Pigeon from the basket, he just makes 2-3 pigeons fly. Body of pigeon is there by magic. So, but not really so. Jiva jayate briyate piva. And they die, they disappear also. Tatha ami sarve jiva. As in the case of magic, all the jivas of the waking state, bhavanti na bhavanti, are born, they die. Only because of that, you can't claim them to be real as you do not claim the bodies made to appear by magic to be really there. Let's continue.
यथा निर्म यथा
Next.
Okay. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम।